Welcome to today's professional development session. We are very excited that you are here. Please keep this index card. We will be using them very soon.
We are going to get today's training started with a fun activity that will help us get to know each other a bit better. When you came in, you each received an index card marked with a color dot. Today we are going to form groups by color. Please find people that have a card with the colors you have.
Once you find your group, please have a seat and we will explain our activity. In your groups you will work together to create a resume that highlights your skills as a group. In your resume you may include information about your education, teaching experience, knowledge on differentiation, hobbies, talents, family, or any other important information. Get as creative as you like. You will be presenting your resume to the group when finished.
We have chart paper and markers up here for you to use. You will have about 10 minutes to create your resume. Any questions? Now that everyone is done, we will each take about 1 to 2 minutes to share.
Thank you everyone for sharing your group resume. We are going to get started with today's learning activities. Let's review our agenda. We are going to start with defining differentiation. We are going to explore strategies for differentiating in the classroom.
Then we are going to move on to practicing differentiation and some tips for implementing differentiated instruction.
It is our hope that by the end of today's session you will have gained an overview of differentiated instruction. We hope you will be able to implement several differentiation strategies. Finally, we hope you will be able to identify things to consider when implementing differentiation at the classroom, school and district level.
Talk with someone beside you about how you have adjusted instruction to meet the learning needs of kids in your class. We will take a few minutes to share out your ideas.
Thanks for sharing your ideas. So the first question you may ask is, why differentiate? Can any of you tell me why it is important to differentiate learning in the classroom?
All great answers. Thanks for sharing. Differentiation is essential for several reasons. First, all kids are different. By a show of hands, how many of you have had a classroom where your students are all at the same level? Second, one size does not fit all. And differentiation provides all students with access to all curriculums. If we teach in the same way to all students and do not adjust our instruction, our students will not be able to meet the requirements of the curriculum. Teachers can differentiate content, process, and product according to students' readiness, interest, and learning profile.
What are you doing to differentiate instruction in your classroom? Take a few minutes to discuss how you have differentiated the content. Take a few minutes to discuss how you have differentiated the learning process for your students. Now discuss how you have differentiated a product to meet needs. Traditional instruction is very different from differentiated instruction. Some of your responses were very good, but they only touched the surface of differentiation. Differentiation goes beyond just modifying assignments or giving a different form of a test.
Differentiation considers the following: student differences, modifies assessments according to student learning styles, modifies instructional format according to students' learning style, and offers a variety of assignment options.
Differentiation strategies are aligned with instructional goals and objectives, and specific strategy selections are based on the focus of instruction and the focus of differentiation.
There are many ways to differentiate within your classroom. A few examples are choice boards, tiered activities, and learning contracts. Discuss with your neighbor a way you have used it in the past.
We will now do an activity that will give you a little exposure to these differentiation strategies. This activity is called Dinner Menu. For this activity you have 4 parts: the appetizer, the entree or main course, side dishes and dessert. The appetizer is an activity that everyone shares. For the appetizer, everyone will write the chemical equation for photosynthesis.
Next you have the entree. For the entree you select only one of the activities to complete. Your choices are: draw a picture that shows what happens during photosynthesis, write 2 paragraphs about what happens during photosynthesis, or create a rap that explains what happens during photosynthesis. The next part of the dinner menu is to select your 2 side dishes. Your choices are: define respiration in writing, compare photosynthesis to respiration using a Venn diagram,
Write a journal entry from the point of view of a green plant, or with a partner. Create and perform a skit that shows the differences between photosynthesis and respiration.
And finally, for the dessert, everyone will create a test to assess the teacher's knowledge of photosynthesis.
We are going to try this activity in groups today. Let's count off by twos to group ourselves. You will have about 10 minutes to work on the activity.
Don and oppose. T. Be concerned with not completing everything. The idea of the activity is to give you some practice with a good differentiation strategy.
Now that you have completed the activity, can you describe to a partner how you see using this in your classroom? So how do you implement differentiated instruction in your classroom?
Be sure to start slowly and organize your classroom space. You may want to begin by using only one or two strategies.
Start student files and start using student portfolios.
You should incorporate and use technology. Look for existing resources and learn from your co-workers.
It is important to have a team committed to differentiation. Discuss in your PLC teams what is working and what is not working. Be willing and open to alter or extend your strategies.
We have one more activity to wrap up today's professional development on differentiated learning. We are going to role-play a differentiation scenario. Please go back into your groups from the dinner menu activity.
Your task as a group is to take the following instructional objective and identify 2 differentiation strategies that might be used to teach the objective. I will keep all of this posted on the PowerPoint for you to refer back to as you work.
The objective is, the students will complete a report on the book Charlotte's Web. Your goal is to identify the pros and cons of using both strategies in a class of 25 students that includes the following children.
The first student is Sherry. Sherry likes to be asked to do things by the teacher. She is interested in fitting in and speaks out often in class. She has a wild imagination and loves to read, but her comprehension skills are below grade level.
The next student is Jemmy. Jemmy is hyperactive and likes to dance around the room when class is near the end. He is an audio/visual learner, is a solid reader, and enjoys excelling in being the best. He gets very excited to start new books, but they don't hold his attention for long.
The third student is Terrence. Terrence does not feel a connection to school. He is a very intelligent student, but he follows. He seems to do well in every type of activity when he applies himself. He has exhibited strong reading skills, but does not always complete work.
Jack is next and he failed reading 3 times. He is an expert hunter and fisherman and knows more about the outdoors than anyone. He seems to learn best with hands-on activities. His reading and writing skills have only slightly improved over the last 2 years.
The final student we want you to consider while working is Marie. Marie is a very quick learner. She seems to get things just by listening. She likes to excel. She is very concerned about rules and right versus wrong. She is a natural leader. Her reading and writing skills are both above grade level.
We will be walking around to help you with the activity. Feel free at this point to ask us any questions you may have.
We thank you for being such a great audience. Up on the PowerPoint are a few additional resources for differentiation you may find useful. Thanks again.